fell off the wall again. What's going on with you, man? Down in Sportstalk, we are in the building. This is Left-Handed, your man. All right, at RM Des on Twitter. That's my code D over there in the building. As always, Yada Bear in the house. Tonight we're gonna set it off a little bit something we got going all over the place with it. We're gonna talk about the Final Four, and I'm hyped to charge because you know what it is. It's my time of the year. Baseball season starts on Thursday. All right, we're gonna talk about that. Get into the preview. If you saw the little preview that we did on the Down and In Sports Talk page on Facebook, check that out. Let us know what you think. Let us know who your favorite team is, and we rock out because we baseball heavy over here. You know what I mean? I'm Yankees all day and Phillies
all day.
What's good, Yada Bear? What's the deal? What's the deal?
Oh man, I am. I'm happy. I'm hyped. It's spring is in the air. You know,
spring again.
Spring is in the air. It's a lot of baseball to talk. We had a good college basketball weekend. You know, Final Four coming up. You know, a lot of interesting teams out there, and I'm pretty sure that nobody's bracket is sitting pretty. Okay, I know nobody got San Diego State in there. They did, they're lying. Or Florida Atlantic, they're lying. But I want you to go ahead and set off the
Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna set it off. All right. Listen, great Final Four. Like we talked about, we thought and we said that it would be little evenly balanced playing field this year. None of the alleged blue bloods were in there. And when we talk about the blue bloods, we forgot Louisville, right? But again, and I've been watching. I watched a lot of Final Fours over the years, right? A lot. When I say a lot, I mean go back to Al McGuire when Marquette had the long untucked in uniforms, but that's a long time ago. But again, this tournament, every game that I watched was dramatic. You felt for the teams that lost. A lot of officiating questions, a lot of questionable calls by the officials, a lot of questionable plays, especially early in the tournament. But I think, you have, games and moments that stand out. The kid Noel from Kansas State, absolutely. You know what I mean? The kids from all over did their thing. But here's the Final Four that we end up with, right? Connecticut, UConn, shout out to UConn, Miami, San Diego State, and Florida Atlantic. There's always going to be a Florida Atlantic. You know what I mean? Going into at least the Elite Eight. Now they're in the Final Four, and now anything could happen. You remember your George Masons. We always talk about Florida Gulf Coast. You know what I mean? And I'm going to throw Texas Tech in the mix. They was in the finals a couple years ago when Virginia won. So, again, the team, salute to all of them. You earned it. You earned your spot. Absolutely. You earned your spot. But we talked about this before the tournament even started. We said how none of the number one seeds would get there. None of the number one seeds got there. Some of them didn't make it out the first weekend. Ain't that right, Purdue? So when we talk about how the proverbial wealth has been spread across college basketball, this is proof in the pudding right here. You have excitement. You're looking forward to this Final Four. I know, it brings a lot of attention. Shout out to the schools that, came close with no cigar. Princeton, they did their work. You know what I mean? A lot of other Fairleigh Dickinson, Fairleigh Dickinson, for real. But these schools right here now, they can puff their chests out and say, we could do this. Now you got kids that, maybe thinking about, those blue bloods that we always talk about, right? Mm-hmm. Now they might not have to think about the blue bloods that much because again, we don't want to talk about the NILs. The NILs are affecting situations, right? Transfer portal is definitely affecting situations because if a kid is not going to get the time that he feels like he deserves or he should get, he gonna go somewhere else.
Caleb Love
was that. So again, this particular tournament right here, Um, everybody's looking at UConn, because they're playing the best basketball. But I'm not sleeping on any of the other three squads. I'm not sleeping on any of them. Anything can happen,
Yeah.
So again, here we are. You know what I mean? Final Four is in Houston. All right, coming up this weekend, and I'm interested in seeing who's going to end up playing on Monday night. I just hope, Yada, that for all the excitement and the great tournament that we had so far, we don't have two stinkers in the Final Four. And what I mean by stinkers is like blowouts, and then we don't
Yeah.
have a blowout on Monday night. You know what I mean? So
No,
again,
definitely.
that's where we at with it. Rock out with us. We on Facebook,
Yes.
YouTube, StreamYard. Hit us up in the chat and let us know what you think, how you feel, what's on your mind. And this is how we're gonna give it up. Yada, what's on your mind? What's good? You talk about the Final Four now.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy with the Final Four. I'm me. I'm a big advocate for change, and I'm glad to see new blood at this point in the tournament because truthfully, it was starting to get a little stale. You
What's
know,
up, Nick?
you can always close your eyes and be like, oh yeah, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, and then maybe Gonzaga or maybe
Man, don't
Virginia
mention it. Don't mention that name.
or maybe Louisville or maybe
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State. Teams
Mm-hmm.
like that we are so used to seeing year after year. People getting
Kansas.
4 or 5 star recruits, all NBA ready guys, and I'm just glad to see a team like Miami, who don't really get that. You think of Miami, you think of football, you don't think of basketball
Mm-hmm.
like that. That's a football school. Um, a team like San Diego State, nobody wrote San Diego State down in a bracket. I don't care that they was the number 5, that they are the 5th seed. Nobody had San Diego State
Nobody
in
talked
the
about San
bracket.
Diego State since Kawhi Leonard.
Exactly. And most people forget that he even went there.
That he even went there.
And
Absolutely.
you got people got to Google, but like, well, who went? Oh, Kawhi Leonard went to San Diego State. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. No one thinks about that school at all as a basketball powerhouse. So, to see this, I do agree with you. I'm hoping that these games are just as exciting as the rest of the tournament has been. I know you mentioned the refs. The refs been a factor in every league this year. I think this is the narrative for this season in all sports is that the refs are becoming more and more a part of the game and not just the zebras in the background. They are a part of the game now. So that's the ongoing narrative of this year with all sports. But I'm excited, and I'm hope that we have 2 really good games, and I'm hoping that on Monday that championship game will be fire. Um, Now we can flip to the women's side where
Mhm.
we have a team that's in the Final Four that we all expected to be in the Final Four. When talking about South Carolina, but when I talk about them, it wasn't a pretty win. In the beginning, extremely slow start, a lot of sloppy plays, and they actually was getting exposed on the defensive side of the ball. That Maryland was able to spread them out and have a lane to drive to the basket, but unfortunately for Maryland, they couldn't convert on those easy layups. Um, and as we talked behind the scenes, and I was stating that you know this tournament hasn't been the prettiest for South Carolina. Um, they haven't been the super dominant force that we've seen from wire to wire as we've seen during the regular season, and we know that in the tournament that the set get a little amped up a little bit more, but they play in the SEC, which the set is always amped up there.
Southeast Conference, Southeastern Conference.
So that conference is always extremely tough.
Mm-hmm.
So to see them have their struggles and slow starts in some of these games, and us not seeing the typical South Carolina program that we generally see on the floor, where everything is flowing real smoothly, is kind of telling, and it's showing me that can they get upset in the Final Four?
Hmm.
Yes. Is it possible? Yes, it is. And they are playing the only team that I think could upset them, which is Iowa, with Caitlin Clark, who's out there shooting people out the gym. This chick put up a stat line of 41, 12, and 14 to get her team to the Final Four. Not only is she scoring, but she's also passing the ball, getting her other teammates involved, and grabbing boards. So she's everywhere on the court. So she's going to be a problem for them, because as I looked when South Carolina played Maryland, they're really they have a real hard time defending the team when they are spread out, and that's what Iowa going to look. They're going to look to spread them out, and they're going to have to double Caitlin Clark. And the way that she's been passing the ball, it's going to give her teammates a lot of opportunity to make open shots. So that should be real interesting. And the second game with LSU and Virginia Tech looks to be a really good one too. Um, Virginia Tech had a tough game against Ohio State. Ohio State is a really good defensive team, um, and they really put it in. They that game was a really good game from beginning to the end. Um, I'm excited to see them against LSU. Um, I'm a big fan of Angel Reese, and I'm also a big fan of Kim Malarkey's Blazers. I can't wait to see what type of blazer she's going to wear in the Final Four. So far we had the Irish one because it's St. Patty's Day. We had
Then the
one.
one with the drop down to get your eagle on.
Yeah, the eagle, the the other day she had the freaking like the sparkles. It was like sequins all over. So I'm excited to see what she's gonna wear for the Final Four. It should be interesting. But all in all, I'm hoping it to be a really good game. We was talking behind the scenes and we were stating about what Dawn Staley said, that she's looking for
Mm-hmm.
an all
Mm-hmm.
SEC finals. I'm gonna need Dawn to keep her eyes on the prize with the team that's in front of her, which is Iowa, because like I said, that's the team that could upset that all SEC championship. Um, but how you feel about the women's Final Four?
I think the women's Final Four is going to be great. You got four great teams. Talk about South Carolina first. They picked up their 36th consecutive win of the season, which is a school record. Um, Doing what they need to do against a very, very talented Maryland squad. Aaliyah Boston, she's picked up her 82nd career double-double. She had 22 and 10 with 5 assists and 2 blocks. She's the reigning National Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. She looked a little stagnant in the first few minutes of the Maryland game, but I think as the game wore on, she started to get her strength and started to get a little stronger and play into her strengths, which was crashing the boards and kind of like shaking that proverbial thing off your ankle. They were holding on to South Carolina's ankle, and then that second quarter, going into halftime, they were kind of like get off of me, get off of me.
Yeah,
You're doing too much. Can't forget about Zaya Cook. She's the team's top scorer, averaging 15.1 points a game. She averages, doing her numbers. She's always there in the clutch, making big 3-pointers, coming up with big steals. So I think that's her game at the next level. I'm excited to see her at the next level. They have a junior center, Camila Cordozo. All right, and she's been improving every year, and now she's even contributing with about 9.7 points a game and at least 8 rebounds a game. Dawn Staley's squad, and we talked about her, doing her. She was feeling herself. I'm not mad at her. She was feeling herself, but again, you don't want to give the other team any bulletin board material, and they'll take anything. You know what I mean? Because when I first heard that statement, I was like, oh, come on now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
But they are the defending champions. They've been, there's no doubt they've been the team to beat. A 42-game winning streak dating back to last year. And again, that suffocating defense is going to have to definitely step up and show up against Iowa. Iowa, the top offense in the nation, averaging over 87.5 points a game, led by star player Caitlin Clark, who Yada talked about. She's, the most impactful offensive player in women's college basketball. She averages over 27 points a game. And again, she facilitates as well. You know what I mean? With over 8.5 assists per game. I think, when Iowa beat Louisville 97-83 in the Elite Eight contest, she was responsible for 72% of her team's offense. That's crazy. Yeah. 72% of the team's offense, and Yada mentioned it, 41 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists. That's her 5th triple-double this season, the 11th for her career, and again, the first 40-point triple-double in NCAA tournament women's history. So that, has to amount for something. Give her props. But I think this is going to be, where the rubber meets the road in this Final Four game. Caitlin Clark, she consistently makes tough baskets. If you watch her game, she's not scared. No, so she's definitely going to go in there, amongst the trees and do her thing in this Final Four game. Iowa doesn't, lack for other scorers either. Monica Cesano, I hope I got her name right. She averages over 17 points a game. McKenna Warlock averages over 11 points a game. So again, all 3 of those women, they average double digits in scoring, and they average at least 6 rebounds. So the rebounding is going to be at a premium in this particular contest coming up. And again, this is Iowa's first Final Four since 1993. They're hyped and charged to get in it and make it happen. We're going to give our game picks at the end of the show. All right, so hang out with us, rock out with us. We're on YouTube, StreamYard, and Facebook Live, so rock out. Salute to everybody that rocks out with us. My man Nick is in the chat room. Salute. LSU, all right, and Kim Mulkey, you know what I mean? She tried to get her diva on. I got her
shine on. I love it.
Trying to get her shine time, you know what I mean? I remember when she was doing her thing at Baylor. You know what I mean? So again, she's leading the LSU to what could be the best season in school history. LSU has 31 wins, all right, the most since 2007, okay, and which was the last time that they were in the Final Four, all right? Yeah. LSU has one of the top offenses in the nation, but again, against Miami, it didn't look that way, all right? They were shooting under 32% from the field. Alexis Morris, a 5th-year guard, had to lift her game up, had 21 points. And again, she wanted to do her thing because she's from Texas. So she's trying to get down to Dallas for the Final Four. And I'm not mad at that. Angel Reese, which is somebody's favorite player, not named Leah Boston, right? She's a sophomore, top National Player of the Year candidate. She led LSU this year with 23.2 points a game and 15.7 rebounds a game. That's a double-double automatic. She has 32 double-doubles this season, all right? I think that they're going to go into this game. I hope they're ready. They're locked in because Virginia Tech is no joke, okay? Yes. This has been a historic season for Virginia Tech. They won their first ACC tournament, all right? They got a really, really high seed, their highest seed than ever. They lived up to the hype. They did this thing in Sweet 16, the first Sweet 16 since 93, all right? And they went out to play a tough Tennessee team, all right?
Yeah.
And again, they beat them in the Sweet 16. And again, if Tennessee would have won that, you'd have had Tennessee, LSU, right, and South Carolina in the Elite Eight. Ohio State, tried to hang out with them for a little while, but I think, Elizabeth Kitley had 25 points. She was just throwing up and everything was going in.
Yeah. Everything.
You know what I mean? And that was her 56th career double-double. So the double-doubles are all over the place. So again, she's been the team's most consistent scorer. Georgia Amore is the team's second leader scorer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And she does her thing, and she got 24 points in that contest against Ohio State. So it's
Mm-hmm.
scoring all over the place. And we're
Yeah.
gonna, kind of like talk about it, and then we're gonna talk about some other things. And towards the end of the show, y'all don't let me forget that we'll do our final four picks for the men and the women. All right.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
down in Sports Talk. We're gonna talk about more than basketball. Hint, hint.
Yes. Yes.
No
Yes.
disrespect to nobody else, but it is what it is. This is down in
Man.
sports. Go ahead, Yada. Go ahead.
No,
I
no,
said
I,
my
I,
piece.
I, I was going to say, like, yeah, that's true, because but it is what it is.
It is what a TI is. You already know. Um, this past weekend, we saw David Benavidez
Oh,
do his thing in a fight against Caleb Plant, which to me, it was more about Kenny Bayless. That was the almost one of the worst referee fights I ever seen in my life.
he was
Like
all over the place.
he absolutely was. Like I don't know if it was supposed to be a quota on Caleb Plant and how much holding he was. He was doing more holding than the NFL. They do more holding than the NFL game. There should have been flags all over the place. But as the fight went on and the fight progressed, I think David Benavidez, found his way and he started pounding Caleb Plant out. What was your thoughts on the fight, Yada, before we get back into it?
Oh man. Well, you hit the nail on the head, because when I was watching it, I'm like, well, I said, well, is Plant like in love with
Uh-oh.
David? Because
Uh-oh.
he just
Send
couldn't
your
stop.
email. Send your email.
He just couldn't stop holding
Man.
this man.
Right.
It came to
Absolutely.
one point where he was holding his left arm down on his side, and David was just like hitting him with the right, like, yo, like, get off of
Get
me.
off
Like,
me.
can
Right,
you
right,
get
right.
off of me? And the ref was just allowing it. And and,
Mm.
and I feel like Plant was going to get knocked out. But as soon as he felt like he's about to go down, he just hold on to him. And the ref just kept allowing it. Because I swear, this man was going to go down in like the 9th or 10th round, because he was just getting hit with
Yeah, he was
everything.
getting clobbered, yo.
And what was
It's like one of
crazy,
those Bluto and Popeye fights.
yes, and what's crazy is all the trash this man was
Right, right,
talking
right.
during the pressers. Just he called David fat. He was calling him fat. He was calling him, like he was out of shape, that he's slow, he gonna knock him out. And at the first 3 rounds, it was like, all right, it's pretty much even. Caleb was getting some hits in, but then it seemed like around like the fourth, fifth round, it's like he forgot how to fight. It's like he got hit
Mm,
one good time, and that was it. He was like, "Oh no, I can't
mm.
take it. I can't take these punches." And David, he was making his mission to try to knock this guy out, but the fight just couldn't. That fight just couldn't really develop into to that knockout, because the ref just keep letting Caleb
Yeah,
hold him.
yo.
That took
Yeah.
away from the fight. It was like he just kept
Mm-hmm.
holding this guy, and I'm just looking like, yo, when are you gonna stop holding? And also, Caleb kept hitting David below the belt.
Below the belt. Right, right, right.
He
Absolutely.
hit him below the
Absolutely.
belt
That's
like
right.
3
Yep.
times.
That's right. That's right.
I'm like, is he doing it on purpose? Is it because he's holding his arm and he can't really see where he's punching? It was a terrible officiating. And again, here we go. We was talking about the refs again.
Mm-hmm.
We keep going back to the refs this season, and that's just another example in boxing that the refs got in the way and destroyed the fight. It could have been a way better fight. We should have got the knockout that we deserved, but he kept allowing Caleb to hold on, or he wouldn't even stop the fight. I mean, my man is bleeding from the forehead.
Right, right,
He's
right, right.
opened up.
That's crazy. Right. That's right.
David would just destroy him with the straight rights, hitting him with the jabs. He had an all around great fight, and the way that he beat him, um, to me, Caleb should not be granted a rematch. It's done. we clearly see that he was the most superior in the ring against you. That you can't stand, you don't stand a chance against this guy. Especially after all the hype that you was bringing up, even with his interest music. Oh, when we say you never got hit with a white boy, or you never saw a white boy something like that was whack. Like it was all whack, and the way he lost the fight was just whack too. So it all made perfect sense. But
Yeah.
that was that was just crazy.
I was trying to figure out if that was the strategy going in, because even from the first round, he was just grabbing like anytime he thought that he was gonna get hit with something, he would just put his head down and just grab like. And Kenny
Yeah,
Bayless, man, I mean, you're a veteran referee, man. You've officiated some of the biggest fights in boxing history. You name it. He's been the third man in the ring. Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. You know what I
I think that might
mean?
going to change them. I
Yeah,
think
you know what
after
I'm
this,
saying?
I think after this one, that might
And I
change
think that
because
all he had to do basically was take a point away from Caleb Plant, which he never did.
he never did.
He
After
never took a
even
point.
after
If you would
the
have if you
second,
took a point away from him, that would have cooled all of that out. You never did that.
even
So
after the
for
second low blow, I said you're not going to
right,
take a point.
absolutely. And for
And then
me,
the
it was
third
like
one, I
if
said
you
you're not going to take a point. You
he
seeing
didn't take
this?
a point from none of that. So again, I'm like, well, if you're not taking points, you're giving him the green light to
To keep
continue
doing it.
doing what he's doing.
Yeah,
So again, it would have been totally justified if you'd have got that dude out of here. But
yeah.
it was a 12 round, unanimous decision. The scores, one of the officials had 117, 111, which I totally agreed with
Oh, I
because
agree
again,
too.
at
I
the
mean,
end of the day,
it could
yeah,
have
it could
been
have been worse than that.
110, 118.
Right. You know what I mean? So again, like Yada says, Caleb Plant, I mean, he gave a better showing against Canelo, if you ask me. You know what I mean? So again, we talk about that, and you talk about, the officiating. It's every sport, but we're not going to dwell on that. But you know what? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Now we come to the part of the show that we are going to get busy, because now it's going to be some real stuff going on now.
Wait a minute.
This is down to In Sports Talk 2023 Major League Baseball preview. Get set.
Hold up. Hold up.
Okay,
Hold
all
up.
right,
Before we jump into this real quick,
all right.
let me just can I just address something that
Okay,
was on my mind.
all right.
Um, so last night the Sixers played the Nuggets. Okay, and of course, Joel Embiid didn't play.
Mm.
So the talk of the town, the talk all day is, well, him missing that game basically solidified that Joker will win his third straight MVP. And I kind of agree and kind of don't agree. The
Mm.
one thing that I will agree about is this is Doc Rivers' fault because he mismanaged this road trip. That is the game that we all was tuned in and tuned up to ready to watch. The matchup against Embiid and Joker for the second time in Denver. Now, the Sixers was on a 3-game West Coast trip. They played the Warriors, they played the Suns, and the last game was against the Nuggets. If he said, all right, well, we want to rest Joel, well, to me, he should have rushed Joel against the Warriors and the Suns. Because guess what? Those 2 games don't matter. We already have our spot in the playoffs. We already have home playoff game. The game that mattered in that road trip was the Denver Nuggets game. And that game would have helped solidify Joel's MVP case. And Doc Rivers, again, doing Doc Rivers things and held him back. This guy, he is the question mark of the team because of his coaching decisions. Why would you play Joel in back-to-back games on the road with games that don't matter? He should have played in that Nuggets game. He shouldn't have played against the Suns, and he shouldn't have played against the Warriors. I am like over Doc Rivers. He played PJ Tucker for 25 to almost 30 minutes, and PJ Tucker gave us zeros across the board.
Say it again.
Zero across the board. We paid this guy $30 million for what? For nothing. He had 0 points, 0 shot attempts, 0 free throws. And
0
guess what?
rebounds.
He had 1 foul. I can see y'all there hacking people, At least do that. What are you doing? Joker had a triple-double on you, homie. What are you doing? Again, mismanagement of the team. And he will be our downfall. And I just don't understand what the GM is not seeing. We can't win with Doc as the coach. Not at all. He's wasting Joel's talent for crucial years. And we know big guys don't last very long in the league because their body starts giving up on them. He's already having calf problems, back problems. And he's just wasting away. And it's Doc's fault. And it just blows my mind. I just had to just put that out there because it's killing me. And Doc Rivers, and he said, "Oh, well, it's a regular season game. This was a a playoff. He want to get ready for the playoffs." I get that. I understand. Just want to get ready for the playoffs. But you could have not played him on the first 2 games. And he knows how important the MVP award is to Joel. Why not allow your star player? He's the team. Let him accomplish what he wants to accomplish and stop holding him back. And you say, "Oh, was it a team decision for the team?" Well, he is the team. So you want to keep him happy. Like, I don't get it. And it's a Doc Rivers thing. And we have seen Doc go through teams and people just get tired of him. He weighs you down. Where it's like, I had enough of Doc Rivers. He has to go. As good of a coach that he is, he weighs you down. And it's like, you know what? I need Doc to go. And I'm kind of on that stretch. Like, I am leaning in that direction when I'm like, I can see somebody else in that seat that's not Doc Rivers that's leading my team.
Wait till the playoffs start. You're gonna be really ready to kill him.
Well, I mean, listen, I already seen that. I already been there.
You're gonna really be ready to kill him.
I already seen it last year where he left Joel in the game when he got hit in the face and got his face broken. We're blowing him out. Why is Joel still in the game?
Yeah, I mean, again, for me, I just think that that was the game, the Nuggets game, where you should have really, it was head to head, mano a mano. Who gonna show up? Who gonna prove their MVP worthiness? You know what I mean? Not to get really into the deep dive because Yada did it already. I just sit back and say, well, he should have played that game. You know what I mean? And hopefully that that doesn't give the voters an excuse and out, because the last couple of years, I mean, I remember especially specifically last year where Joel Embiid was playing really, really strong down the stretch, and he was making his bid. And for me, it was like Joel Embiid deserves the MVP. Jokic got it the year before. Let's see if Embiid can get it. But Jokic ended up getting it again. Why? Because he was doing his numbers as far as the assists and the points and things of that nature. But again, you don't got nothing to show for it but an MVP award. That's an individual award.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the team, why is your team always flaming out in the playoffs when you have the MVP the last 2 years?
And what's crazy too is like I take nothing away from Joker. Yes,
Yeah, nothing.
he is a terrific player. He gives you everything that you want on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But on the defensive side, he gives you nothing. Joel is a defense stopper. Okay. I haven't seen anybody this season put the clamps on Joel and he has a terrible game.
Mm.
I have seen people put the clamps on Joker
Right.
and put him out the game,
And make
even
him a
though he's in the game.
non-factor. Like in the words of our famous philosopher Jim Mora, he gives you diddly poo.
Diddly poo. Okay?
Diddly poo.
So as much as people want to cape for Joker, it's all good, but he gives you nothing on the defensive side
Right.
of the ball when Joel gives you everything.
Both,
And
everything.
people always say, well, Joel always look gas. You know why he looks gas? Because he plays both ends of the floor.
That's
Joker
what happens when you play both
only
ends of the.
shows
Yeah,
up
that's
on
right.
the offensive side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whoever's he guarding, they can drop 40 all day, but then nobody want to talk about that. They want to talk about, well, oh, Joker got another triple double. Yeah, but guess what?
Look at the passes he makes, and look
Yeah,
how
look
he
all the
sets up his
passes. Yeah, bro.
teammates.
Joel just dropped 40 on him the last game. But who am I? Who am I? I'm just someone who just watched the game.
It is what it is, right?
It is what it is. And
It
let
is
me
what
just
it
say
is.
one more thing before we go to baseball, because there's another thing that's killing me, right? This whole Lamar Jackson thing. It's really, really working my nerves. One, because he put out there that he wanted to trade, right? All right, he wants to trade. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty of this situation, it's his fault. This been going on for 2 years. This contract negotiated for 2 years. This is his fault. And it's crazy that, we hearing about the numbers, this and that. But it's just nuts to me that a person can turn down 130 million guarantee or 150 million guarantee. Who knows what the number is? But you could turn down that much money like it's not like you got that in the bank already. Like you already like a billionaire. Like that's chump change to you. And you won't, get an agent or have a consultant that can help with the verbiage in that contract and to also tell you, like, help you understand, the quarterback value. We know that Cleveland screw up the market by giving
And that's the
Deshaun,
problem.
Deshaun Watson all that money. But if we
And
get
that's the problem right
no,
there, because
yeah,
the number starts at 231 for Lamar Jackson.
yeah,
That's where it starts at.
but listen, if we're being 100 about Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson before all that dumb stuff was
Mm-hmm,
going on,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
he's better than Lamar. I mean, I
I
gotta
tend
keep it
to agree
funky.
with you. I
I
agree.
gotta keep it funky. If
I
you
agree.
telling me I can choose from Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson, I'm going Deshaun Watson because I know what this guy gives you. I see what he gave you in Houston with a terrible team.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they traded away D Hop, he was throwing to nothing. It was still putting up 4,000 yards, still putting up those touchdowns, and doing everything that's in his power to win these games. And again, I speak about Lamar like he's not a terrible quarterback, but again, you need to have things for him. He needs a lot to accomplish a lot. He needs a top five running game. He needs a top five offensive line. He needs a top five receiver. He needs a top five tight end. He needs. I watched this Sean Watson have nothing and accomplish so much. And I just feel like it's just it's just mind blowing to me. And now he's stating he wants to trade. Well, then they need to trade him because at the end of the day, he's not going back. I don't see I don't see this I don't see a universe right now with Lamar Jackson still in the Baltimore Ravens jersey and playing and being productive. So I feel like they need to try to find a partnership where they can make this trade happen. That's why they gave him the non-exclusive franchise tag because they told him, well, go see what's out there. Go see what other people think of you. And what's crazy, as we stated before, nobody's really knocking at his door. Nobody's really knocking because nobody really want to give up this fully guaranteed contract for this guy for the amount that he's asking for. And there's reasons why. And he's just not getting it. And he doesn't have a professional with him that can help him understand what's going out there in the league. He has nobody out there with fillers to see, well, this is what Washington is looking for, or this is what Atlanta is looking for. Like, he has nobody in his corner to do that. Because nobody's going to be talking to his mom. Okay? Like he's fumbling his own bag. He's fumbling his own bag. And I'm just tired of it. And I'm tired and I'm tired of these other mainstream media guys trying to make Lamar seem like the victim, where he is the product of his own circumstances. This is his fault. He created this problem.
I think something else to that. When you talk about creating a situation, we know where the number starts at 231. Then the elephant in the room. There's a few elephants in the room. There's an elephant in the room named Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. There's an elephant in the room named Justin Herbert. There's an elephant in the room named Josh Allen. So all these guys are watching and seeing how this situation is going to develop. The only one who's not really interested in how it's developing is who? Deshaun Watson. Because he got his bread already. Guaranteed.
So did Patrick Mahomes. Patrick, he's fine.
Those dudes, like, when it's time for them to re-up, the bar is going to be crazy. But again, that's not my issue, because I got Baker Mayfield is my quarterback. Woohoo! You know what I mean? But don't be laughing. Don't be laughing at me. I'm stuck with Baker Mayfield. At least he won't be doing any progressive commercials at Raymond James. But we're in the building, man, and now we're going to get to the reason why we're here on this Tuesday night, this great Tuesday night. You know what I mean? A few hours before first pitch clocks, all that good stuff, big pizza box bases and all of that. 2023 Down in Sports Talk Major League Baseball preview. We threw a little bit up there on the Down in Sports Talk Facebook page. Check it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Yada Bear have the stage, and so she could talk about her Philadelphia Phillies and all of that, and whatever else is going on as far as baseball is concerned, and then we're gonna get it cracking. So on you, Yay.
All right, so yes, let's talk about the Phillies. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Reese Hobson. Now, we talked last year, you remember the conversation I said about my first baseman, how I was done with him, that I needed a new first baseman.
That's what you said.
And I was still saying that during this whole off season. And look what happened. Blew out his ACL doing a routine ground ball. And you know why he blew out that ACL? Because he's terrible at fielding. He's terrible at defense. he blew it out because he went at this ground ball on a terrible angle. Because he's
Yeah,
terrible at
it did look kind of
defense.
awkward.
Because he's terrible at defense. I said it all. I'm gonna say for the past 2 years, we need a new first baseman. And the thing that kills me with the Phillies sometimes is the loyalty. You know, he was with us when we was terrible. Yes. Yes, he was. But guess what? It was time for him to move on. Yes, he had a decent bat. Yes, he gave us 30 home runs. I am happy about that, but it's not all about the bat. When you're a first baseman, you are supposed to help solidify that infield. You have 2 jobs. Field the occasional ground ball that comes to you and make the damn catch on the bag. You know how many games that he blown for us because he can't catch the ball? He will take an awkward angle when the ball is coming to him, or he can't grab the ball on a one hopper. I have seen so many blown games, so many blown leads because my first baseman can't play first base.
Is he right-handed?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. That's the
Yes.
problem right there. The
Yes.
right-handers playing first base is crazy, but
It's
go ahead.
crazy. So when this off season came, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is what we need. We need to get a first baseman. We need to get a first baseman. Yes, I'm extremely happy that we got a Trey Turner. Yes, I'm happy about that shortstop side. I am ecstatic. But I also need a first baseman. And when they went into arbitration and they signed him again for another year, I said, what? Am I the only one watching the games? I'm like, it's so, I'm like, oh, they're so caught up in the postseason run that we had last season that they forgot about the regular season, how terrible he was at first base the whole season. And now we are stuck with our thumbs up our butts
Uh-oh.
because he blew out his ACL, and now
Send the emails over there.
we are out of sort about who's going to play first base. Now they have the guy Derek Hall. If you're gonna go with him, then go with him. They're talking about moving Alex Baum to first base. No, if you want, you can't. I don't want first base by committee this season. They need to go out and get a first baseman. You either go with Derek Hall or you get a first baseman. I don't want a first baseman by committee. Um, with that being said, with the rest of my team, I am happy with our off season. Besides us not getting another first baseman, the Trey Turner signing, amazing. We seen what my man did in the World Baseball Classic. Matter of fact, we saw what the Phillies did at the World Baseball Classic Championships because it seemed like only the Phillies showed up to play that game. Where were you, Mike Trout, captain?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you, Pete Alonso? Go Mets. Go Mets. Where was Pete Alonso in the
She's talking to
championship
Greasy
game?
this early, y'all. Season didn't even
Where was
start yet.
Pete
She's talking to
Alonso
Greasy
at?
this early.
Huh? Paul Goldsmith? Where was Paul Goldsmith? Huh? MVP? Where were you at, homie? You was not there. So who was there? Trey Turner? Kyle Schwarber? JT? Yeah, all Phillies players showed up to the World Baseball Classic. And this season is we're going to have a better season because we have a great bullpen. We have a better bullpen. We have a good starting, a good pitching starting lineup. Our rotation is a lot better than it was last year. We kind of got it down pack. Yes, we're still waiting for Bryce to heal from his Tommy John. He is ahead of schedule. We thought that maybe we wouldn't see him till after the All-Star break, but it's kind of looking like he may be back um a little bit before the All-Star break. Hey Brianna, I'm glad you're here to hear this.
All right. What's going on?
Now, I know last week I was in my feelings because the Braves, you know, I know I said 88 games.
Talking,
I don't
talking
care.
extreme, talking extremely greasy.
Yeah, because you know what? Because it's the Braves. I can't. It's two teams I can't stand: the Braves and the Mets. But it's Mets more than Braves, you know. But I can see the Braves winning like 98. You'll probably win 100 games. But again, as I always state, I don't care how many games you win in the regular season. Don't let the Phillies in the postseason. And what happened last year? Left. What did I say last year? Don't let us in the
You said
postseason.
it. You said
And
it.
look what happened. We destroyed the rest of the NL in the postseason. I said it, and I'm gonna say it again. It doesn't matter how many games y'all win. Y'all can win 100+ all day, but look what y'all was doing last year. Y'all was watching us on TV. We had World Series, emeralds on our hats and our jersey. Not the Braves with y'all 100+ games.
The greasiness has begun.
Okay?
Let the greasiness
But
commence.
like
Let's
I
go.
said, it doesn't matter how many games y'all win. Do not let us in this postseason. Because when it comes to the postseason, we are dangerous. We are dangerous. So we will see. And with Bryce being out, you would think that our productivity will go down. Well, unfortunately, for the rest of the league, we have this guy named Trey Turner. And he just gave a small sample size in the World Baseball Classic. He's already in mid-season form. He
Why
is
don't you have Why don't
swinging
you have him play first base?
because that's not his position. That ain't his position. Okay. Now, if any Major League Baseball first baseman is watching, please call the Phillies and tell them that you want to go try out for first base because we definitely need a first baseman. I'm just going to throw it out there. I mean, listen. I'm just really hyped for this season. I feel like it's going to be a really great baseball season all around because one, everybody plays everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
That is like my biggest thing. I am so excited that we all play each other. And two, I'm excited for the pitch count.
Yeah.
I'm excited for 2 hour games, 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2.5 hours. I'm glad that the days of 3 hours, 3.5, 4 hour games are most likely over. I'm happy about that. Um, I'm happy about the base sizes because I feel like we're gonna get more stills. I'm happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to see the drama. There's no more shift. I was
Mm-hmm.
tired of seeing half the infield
Yeah.
on the opposite side of second base, and then you got the third baseman playing third base and shortstop. Like I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see baseball. And I know people are like, oh, well, the shift was great. I feel like the shift was kind of like cheating. I feel like it was cheating. I feel like if I'm at plate, if I'm up to bat, and I'm more likely to hit the ball to the right side of the field, well, then my second baseman, my first baseman should be able to ground that ball.
That's true.
People gotta play
That is
defense.
true. That's true. I buy that. I buy that to a certain
Yeah,
extent. I'll buy
people
it.
gotta play defense. Hey, your pitchers, you gotta ground the ball. You gotta play defense. I'm hoping to see more bunts,
Yep.
especially because the distance between third base and home plate has shortened. So I am excited to see, you know, a squeeze bunt. I want to see some collisions at the plate. We lost all of that because of the shift. We lost that part of baseball. And a lot of people forgot about it. As we stated before, people don't bunt anymore because why should they bunt when we have everybody, we have 7 players on the right side, you know?
Let me tell you why they don't bunt, because they don't know how.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't. I
They
mean,
don't know how.
the art of bunting is gone, right?
Yeah.
Baseball is turned into something now, but you want to be comparable to these other sports. I get it that you want to, make it entertaining for the fans and things of that nature. Baseball became a victim of the analytical society. Right?
Yes.
When you got these big notebooks with all these pages crammed in and said, okay, Yada Bear's up. She's a right-handed hitter. She's going to pull everything. So everybody's going to play to the left side of the infield. So now, if I'm Yada Bear, and I remember I've been playing baseball, softball since knee high, I'm going to drop a bunt down the first base line, and I'm going to be there. Simple as that. Now, with these new rules, there's no shift. You got to have at least 4 people on the infield dirt on both sides of second base. So that's first base, second base, shortstop, and third. So now, again, but that doesn't preclude you from bringing an outfielder in to play that short right field, short left field position now. That's how they're going to try to alleviate that. But then again, I want to see that, because as soon as that ball gets hit over the outfielder's head, it's an inside the park home run. Yada Bear brought up the fact about there's going to be more steals. Absolutely. Right? I don't think we're going to go back to the days of Ricky Henderson and Lou Brock and Vince Coleman where you got triple-digit steals. I don't think we're going back to that. But I think at the end of the day, we talked about this 4 weeks ago. It's going to be strategy. It's going to be more now strategy. These managers are going to have to manage now. You know what I mean? Excuse me. And with the pitch clock, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to speed up the game and get the tempo of the game going. And I'm watching, a few of these last spring training games, and it looks like they're getting it. So Thursday, when the season starts, that's when everything is on go. The clocks are going to be on go. Somebody's going to get called out on strikes because they took too long to get in the box. All right. Somebody's going to make an extra throw over the first base where, you only get 2 tosses over the first base now. To check the runner. Right. So again, it's a lot of stuff. So again, we're looking for a lot more offense. Listen, it might be a return of the 340 hitter, because again, like you said, Yada, with the shift, a lot of those balls that should have been hits were taken away. So now we're going to go back to the league of the 330, the 340 hitters and stuff like that. Tony Gwynn, Rock Carew, those dudes will have a field day, right?
Yes.
So now I'm going to get into this a little bit. I'm going to give my division picks, and I want to give us we're going to give World Series picks, I guess, and then we're going to do the Final Four before we get up out of here.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the National League. I like the Atlanta Braves. I like what they're doing. Ronald Acuna, I hope he doesn't get hurt, but I think the guy on that team for me is Ozzie Albies. I pay money to watch Ozzie Albies play. I like him, right? I think the Braves are going to be better than the Mets, because you don't know what you're going to get out of Scherzer. You know what I mean? You don't know what you're going to get out of that rotation. And Justin Verlander. Those dudes are 150 years old, right? So you don't know what you're going to get out of them, right? So then you got the Phillies. Again, with the Phillies, the injuries, Bryce is not going to come back till late. You don't know what the deal is with Rhys Hoskins. That pitching staff is going to have to hold the fort down. And I think that the Phillies are going to make a playoff run, but we'll talk about that later on. The Miami Marlins, their team on the come up. Salute to Jazz Chisholm, all right? And Sandy Alcantara. He's one of the best, if not the best pitcher in the game, one of the best pitchers in the National League. Yes. And the Washington Nationals, they're afterthought, right? They might as well be called the Washington Generals. And they won the World Series a couple years ago.
That seems so far ago, right? That seems so long ago.
Right, absolutely. The Central. I mean, it's the St. Louis Cardinals division to lose. The Pirates aren't ready yet. A lot of those dudes that you're looking at, Brian Reynolds or the O'Neal Cruzes, those dudes are going to be gone, right? The Milwaukee Brewers are going to give the Cardinals a little competition. They're the second best team in that division, right? Mm-hmm. The Cincinnati Reds, garbage. Send your emails to Yada Bear. Cincinnati Reds, garbage. The Chicago Cubs, they won the World Series. What was it, 2016? You know what I mean? And Dansby Swanson left the Atlanta Braves to go to the Chicago Cubs. Homie,
why?
What was you thinking about?
Why?
What was you thinking about? Right?
Money?
So again, I like the Cardinals in the Central. In the West, I like San Diego. Those dudes are stacked. The only thing that's going to keep San Diego from getting to a World Series is if Fernando Tatis gets on a big wheel, a hot wheel, a motorcycle, a tricycle, a bicycle, a skateboard, any of that, then the San Diego Padres season is done. They got Juan Soto. Go ahead.
Or out of nowhere, he started eating some tainted beef with Canelo.
Oh, well, then that could happen too. But I think that when you talk about the National League West, I think that the Padres are the best team in that division. All the pitching just has to stand up. They got 3 quality starters. The Dodgers. This is the most panic Dodger team that we've seen in a long time. And you got a squad with Freddie Freeman, Clayton Kershaw, Mookie Betts. If Mookie Betts can get back to the form that he had a couple of years ago, and like maybe when he was in Boston or his first year with the Dodgers when they played in when during the pandemic year, the Dodgers could make some noise, but I don't think it's going to happen because the Padres are too strong. Mm-hmm. And I think the Padres are kind of in the Dodgers' head now from last year. Okay, you talk about Arizona; they're too young. The San Francisco Giants, they got problems. Every town that they go to, people are going to be laughing at them like this. Y'all had a chance to get Aaron Judge, you blew it. You had a chance to get Carlos Correa, and he's been on every team in the league except for the Dallas Cowboys.
He was on 4 teams.
You know what I mean? He was on 4 teams. You know what I mean? So I think that when you talk about, the Giants and the Colorado Rockies, it just is what it is. They're going to be, fodder for the rest of the league or whatever. The Giants come to Yankee Stadium on Thursday for opening day, which is going to be crazy. But I just think that, this season is going to be, very, very exciting. Like Yada said, I can't wait because I'm a baseball head. Those who know me know I'm baseball all day. The American League East, Yankees all day. Even though we got 3 starters that's out, Frankie Montes is out. The kid that we got, Carlos Rodon, is out. Yeah. And then Severino is out. So we're down 3 starters before the season starts, right? But I think that our lineup is going to carry us. The kid Anthony Volpe is coming up. Finally, I'm glad we kept him and didn't involve him in a trade for some big name garbage. We kept him. You know what I mean? And the 2 Oswaldo kids is Oswaldo and is Oswald. So again, that's going to be crazy. I can't wait to hear Michael K get that one together.
Oswald. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that the Yankees are going to win the East. I think Toronto. You know what I mean? And again, they don't have the excuse anymore about them being young. They were young 3-4 years ago. Guerrero,
they have
right?
age now.
Chet, and those dudes better step their game up because you know who's coming right behind them? The Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles are no joke. They was the hottest team in the league last year at the end of the year. Cedric Mullins, the kid they got behind the plate, Rushman, he's the truth.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He's absolutely the truth. But the other kid, they got the one they got playing second base, the Gunner dude. He's gonna be nice too. Tampa Bay, they don't spend any money, but they're
gonna wear the Devil Rays, the Devil Rays jersey.
Yeah, they're gonna bring those back, and I hope that they play like they did when they used to wear those Devil Rays jerseys. When they had
bringing it back. That's why
when they had Jose Canseco and Fred McGriff. You know what I'm saying? But the Boston Red Sox, listen, Red Sox fans.
It's hard. It's gonna be hard for them this season.
It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
Listen, you think it's hard out here for a pimp? It's gonna be hard out here for the Boston Red Sox. Jim Rice, Fred Lynn, Roger Clemens, Rick Burleson. None of them dudes is walking through the door. So y'all get ready to do
looking for
what
Big
y'all do.
Papi.
The only saving grace that the Red Sox have this year is that instead of playing the Yankees 18 times, they're only gonna play them 13
They gonna
times.
play 13.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. But the American League Central, the Cleveland Guardians, I like them. You know what I mean? They're the class of the division. It's really not that close. Okay, the other teams in the division, Minnesota, I kind of want them to do some things. You know what I mean? If Carlos Correa can figure out
Correa's back.
he's at, you know what I mean? But they got some dope uniforms, though. Uniforms is dope as hell. But
look, he's back again.
Yeah, again, absolutely. Right?
He's back again. So
so you got the White Sox. They fell off because they let Jose Abreu go to Houston. Yeah, so again, a big portion of that offense is going to be gone. And Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers, they're just like we talked about fodder. They're fodder.
They're just bringing fillers. They're just fillers.
They're just there, to fill up the schedule. The American League West. Houston Astros, even though Altuve is going to be out, but Abreu is going to have a monster year.
Yeah.
Abreu, and that's one of the predictions I'm making. Abreu may hit 60 home runs this year. In that bandbox?
Yeah.
So, again, at the end of the day, I got Houston. I got the Seattle Mariners trying to make it happen. They're going to be better. They got a little taste of the playoffs last year. The kid Julio Rodriguez is the truth, but now he's got to prove it now. He's got to prove it.
Now he got the spotlight on him. Everybody looking. Yes, everybody looking.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ken Griffey Jr. and them did that for years. They were scared of that dude, Jay Buhner, right?
Yeah.
And when they had Tino Martinez playing first base, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Wow.
And then here comes a team that I'm kind of leery about, but again, because they went out and bought a rotation. They got Jacob deGrom. They add, I think they got Martin Perez, the Texas Rangers. They got that shiny new stadium.
Yeah.
Right. And if Jacob deGrom could pitch, if he could make 27 to 29 starts, I know he's not going to make all his starts. We already know that already.
Nope.
But the Texas Rangers could contend. The Los Angeles Angels, they have two of the best players in Major League Baseball. One of them showed up in the World Baseball Classic. The other one didn't.
That one got struck out.
And again, it is what it is. But then you have the Oakland A's. They're just there because they're packing their bags, trying to make it to Las Vegas. That's what they're trying to do.
Yes, they are.
You know what I mean? So again, at the end of the day, that's what that is. Yada, I'm going to let you go first. Who do you see as far as the playoffs and your World Series prediction?
I see the Braves winning the East because, like I said, they probably gonna win.
You just said want Brianna to say that.
No, they probably gonna win the East. Listen, I know what it is. They probably win the East. Man, the West is weird because it's like the sexy pick is the Padres because
right. Go ahead. That's right.
Because they got everything there. When you look at the like you said, when you look at the Padres, it's like, well, why not the Padres?
Mm-hmm.
So
they'll figure out a way to blow it.
Padres. I'm gonna say the Padres because I'm tired of
the Dodgers.
I'm tired of the Dodgers. I am. I'm tired of the Dodgers. The Cardinals because it's nobody. Who else?
Yeah, who else you gonna pick?
Win it?
Right.
So so I see Braves, Padres, and the Cardinals.
Okay.
Wild card, Dodgers, Phillies. Yeah, like I don't. It's like a toss up for the last Dodgers, Phillies, and then whoever. Truthfully, you don't know. AL, that AL East, I don't know, man.
Oh man, stop it! No, Yankees all day. Stop it.
Listen, you got the Yankees. Yeah, I'll go Yankees. I go Yankees. I go Cleveland, Houston, of course. Wild card. I'm gonna go Baltimore. Yeah, I see the Orioles. I see the Orioles. I see Baltimore. Seattle. Um. Mm, Toronto. Mm, that last one, I don't know. That last one might be uh. I'll
Cue the
go.
Jeopardy music.
I'll go. I'll say. I'm just gonna. I say the Angels because
Oh, whoa.
I need the
Ah,
Angels.
you didn't
I
see that coming.
no. I just need the Angels to do something. Okay,
Okay.
you know.
All right. I ain't mad at
I
it.
just need them. I just need them to do something because it makes no sense why they keep putting this guy Mike Trout on this pedestal. Like he has accomplished something. Like he has been out here hitting 60 home runs year after year. Like he has been to multiple playoff series. Like he's been to like a World Series. Like they keep putting him up there. Well, get up there. It's shine time for him. It's shine time because this man is going to make just about almost $1 billion playing
Billion
baseball and win
dollars.
nothing. And win nothing. He keep
Mm.
getting huge
I
contracts.
say the same thing about Aaron Judge. I say the same
But
exact thing about Aaron Judge.
but at least this is Aaron Judge's first huge contract. This is Mike's second? Second
Mhm.
huge contract with the same team. And you would think that, hey, they've been to, you know, the 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 World Series or even made it to the American League Championship, you would think, right? That he been there. When he can't even get out the first, he won what, 2 games in one playoff series. And look how many years he been there. So I'm gonna throw them out there.
All right.
They gotta do something.
All right. Who's your World Series pick?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Yankees. I'm gonna go Yankees because I feel like I don't want to get banned off the show. So,
Uh-oh.
so no,
Uh-oh.
but no, I feel like maybe you guys can get over the hump. Get over the hump. Get over that Houston hump.
I hear you.
Because I'm just tired of the Astros. Okay, yes,
No doubt.
you want to call me bitter from last season, or the seasons before. I'm just tired of the Astros.
No
True.
doubt.
And
Go ahead.
of course I'm gonna go Phillies all day. Okay. I'm gonna go Phillies all day. Hopefully we can get the matchup that we were supposed to get last season.
Yep. That's a beautiful thing. When we talk baseball over here down in sports, we have a few benchmarks, all right, where we kind of like gauge how the season progresses.
Mm-hmm.
The first benchmark is Memorial Day. The second benchmark is 4th of July.
Yeah.
The third benchmark is Labor Day. And our fourth and final benchmark of the season is the last weekend of the season. This year will take place on September the 30th. All right.
Yep.
So again, my picks for the American League, of course, I got the Yankees winning the East, right? I got Cleveland Guardians winning the Central, and I got the Houston Astros winning the West Division.
Mm-hmm.
My wild card teams are the Blue Jays, the Orioles, the Twins, and the Mariners. Those are my wild card teams.
Okay.
In the National League, I like the Braves, I like the Cardinals, and I like the Padres, right?
Mm-hmm.
My wild card teams in the National League, the Mets, the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? My World Series picks, the New York Yankees are going to play, dig this, the Atlanta Braves in the World Series.
Womp womp.
Another one of those. Another one of those, right?
Another one, huh?
Another one of those. And Brianna, thank you very much. We'll see you in October. But yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we covering it. Let us know what your team is, who you like, what you're looking forward to see during the season. Hopefully, we get to a lot of games this year. They won't be 4 hours or 5 hours long because y'all got places to be. You know what I mean, and things to do. And that's what it is. Before we get up out of here, we're going to give our final four picks for this upcoming Final Four. Who you got, Yada? You can start either on the men's side or on the women's side. Who you got?
I'll start on the men's side. I got UConn and man, the other game was a toss up, man. Wait a minute, is UConn and San Diego? No, UConn and Florida.
UConn and Miami.
UConn, Miami.
Miami, Florida Atlantic, and San Diego State.
Oh, yeah, Florida. So I got UConn. Let's go Florida Atlantic.
Uh-oh.
Let's go Florida Atlantic.
Stole my thunder. Thank you very much. Okay. Stole my thunder. I was going to try to shock the world one time.
And then on
the go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Then on the women's side, let's go all SEC. I'm with you, Dawn. Let's go South Carolina, LSU. Let's go.
All right. I feel that. My Final Four prediction, I think they say UConn is playing the best basketball right now. And it looked like the way they got Gonzaga out the paint, they just got Gonzaga up out of here.
That's over the first half.
I just feel like the way this tournament has gone, the way the whole season has gone, I just feel like it's not going to go the way people expect it, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm going to play the devil's advocate. I'm going to go Miami. It's going to be an all Florida final.
Nice.
Miami and Florida Atlantic. That's my pick right there. Let us know on Down in Sports Talk who you got, who you like. Shout out to my man Nick for checking in. Shout out for Brianna for always being down with us and rocking with us. Salute. On the women's side, I'm going to throw another fly in the ointment.
There you go.
I got Virginia Tech over LSU.
Okay.
And then I got South Carolina shutting Caitlin Clark down. Okay, so my final will be South Carolina against Virginia Tech, and South Carolina and Dawn Staley will win their second consecutive national championship. And on the men's side, here's one for you. Get those Florida Atlantic 2023 NCAA championship shirts ready. Down in Sports Talk is rocking with Florida Atlantic.
You rocking with Florida Atlantic all
Florida
day.
Atlantic, let's go.
Let's go, what I mean? Florida Atlantic.
So again, at the end of the day, that's what it is. You could you could tape the show, rewind the show, get at us, let us know what it is. But on this side of the planet, we are rocking with Florida Atlantic.
We're gonna party South Carolina. Florida. Let's go, Florida Atlantic University.
Absolutely. Salute to everybody who rocks with us, man. Facebook, YouTube, StreamYard, don't go nowhere. We in the building. Let us know what you think. Baseball season. Let us know what you think about the Lamar Jackson situation. Let us know who you like in the Final Four. What did you think about Kenny Bayless and his refereeing or lack thereof? You know what I mean? Shout out to the New York Rangers. Knocked down a playoff spot. I ain't forget about y'all, yo. My hockey people salute. All right. So that's what it is. We are in the building. You can catch up to us Tuesday nights, 8 to 9 p.m. ish. Yes. You know what I mean? We are in the building. Salute to my man, Will Walker. All right. Salute to my man, Jose and his family. Yo, hold your head, man. All right. I'm praying for you, dog. All right. Everything is everything. We will catch up to y'all next week. All right. This is Down in Sports Talk. I am left-handed, a.k.a. RM Des. You can get at me on Twitter, and that's my partner right there, Yada Bear. Can't nobody touch Yada Bear. Period. I seen y'all work. You know what I mean? I seen y'all work. and it don't go down like it go down over here. And you know what? We're gonna end the show like this. It is what it is. All right.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Florida Atlantic. Yo, let's go.
Let's go.